You seem rather distracted lately, said Mr. Sopweed. Is everything okay? Is anything wrong at home? So to start off with, we need a capital letter to start our sentence. You seem rather distracted lately. Those words are spoken by Mr. Sopweed, so we need inverted commas around them. We always have punctuation before inverted commas, and as the sentence continues after speech, we need a comma there, because it's not really a question, and it's not an exclamation either. Mr. Sopweed needs capital letters, because it's a proper noun, it's the name of a person. You seem rather distracted lately, said Mr. Sopweed. That's the end of a sentence, so needs a full stop. And then, is everything okay? Is anything wrong at home? Mr. Sopweed starts speaking again here, and because these are words spoken, we need inverted commas around them. Is needs a capital letter for the I, because it's after a full stop. Is everything okay? That's a question, so needs a question mark. And because we've finished our sentence with a question mark, the next is needs a capital letter as well. Is anything wrong at home? Now we always need punctuation before closing inverted commas, and that's a question, so we need a question mark. I'm fine, said Elliot after a lengthy pause. Thank you, sir. So I'm, well, we need a capital I, not only because it's the start of a sentence, but because it's first person. I'm is short for I am, so it's a contraction that needs an apostrophe to replace the missing A. I'm fine, a word spoken by Elliot, so need inverted commas. And we always need punctuation before closing inverted commas, so we need a comma there. Said Elliot, well, Elliot is a proper noun, it's the name of a specific person, so needs a capital letter. I'm fine, said Elliot after a lengthy pause. There's the end of a sentence. And now, thank you, sir, a word spoken by Elliot, so we need inverted commas around those. That T needs a capital letter because it's beginning a new sentence. And thank you, sir, because the sentence has come to an end and there's nothing after the inverted commas, we can put a full stop there. And you might also have a full stop between thank you and sir. Often before someone's name, you will you write a comma to show that you pause before saying it, and it's the same with sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, Elliot, Mr. Sopweed sighed again, nervously flicking his soppy grey fringe. So, oh, Elliot are the words spoken by Mr. Sopweed, so we need inverted commas around those. Elliot has changed to a capital letter now because it's a name. And O, we need a capital O. And again, before someone's name, we often have a comma to show a pause. So, oh, Elliot. Mr. Sopweed sighed again. So Mr. Sopweed needs capital letters. Sighed again, nervously flicking his soppy grey fringe. Well, that's the end of the sentence, but we need a comma somewhere in here as well. Now you could have the comma between nervously and flicking, or you could have the comma between again and nervously, and this is what we call ambiguity. So the comma avoids ambiguity by making something clear. So if we have the comma here, nervously flicking his soppy grey fringe, that shows that Mr. Sopweed was nervously flicking his soppy grey fringe. He was nervously acting. Whereas if we have the comma here, "Oh, Elliot," Mr. Sopweed sighed again nervously, that shows that he was nervously speaking. He was nervously sighing again. So either is correct. In the actual text, I think they have the comma here. So Mr. Sopweed sighed again, and then nervously is the adverb describing the verb flicking rather than describing the verb sighed. Nervously flicking his soppy grey fringe. "You know you can call me Graham. Let's all use the names our mothers gave us. Everyone at Brizemore wants to help you achieve your fullest potential," Call Me Graham continued. So everything from here until Call Me Graham continued, so all of this part of the text are the words spoken by Call Me Graham. Call Me Graham is a proper noun. It's the name of a specific person, even though the call me part is Elliot's nickname for Graham. It still needs a capital letter because it's still referring to a specific person. Graham obviously needs a capital letter as well. There's the end of our sentence, but we need to go back and add in the correct punctuation for the speech. So it begins with a capital letter because we have a full stop before it. "You know you can call me Graham," so capital letter for a name. "Let's all use," there's definitely a full stop there because "let's all use the names our mothers gave us" is the next sentence, so we can put a full stop after that. We can make sure we begin our sentences with a capital letter. And "let's" is a contraction. It's actually short for "let us," so we need an apostrophe to replace the missing U. "Let's all use the names our mothers gave us." New sentence needs a capital letter. "Everyone at Brizemore," now that's the name of a school, so needs a capital letter because it's a proper noun. "Everyone at Brizemore wants to help you achieve your fullest potential," Call Me Graham continued. So we always need punctuation before inverted commas, and as the sentence continues, we need a comma there. Not everyone, sir," muttered Elliot. So we need inverted commas around the word spoken. Elliot needs a capital letter. We need a full stop at the end of our sentence. We need a capital letter to begin our sentence. And before inverted commas, we always need punctuation, so let's put that comma in there. And I think there's a few commas here, so we can have either a comma or a full stop here. Let's have a full stop, but a comma would be correct as well. "Not everyone, sir," muttered Elliot. Let's have a comma before sir. "Whatever do you mean?" squealed Call Me Graham, nearly pulling a button off his cardigan. So the words Call Me Graham says are "whatever do you mean?" Capital letter to start our sentence. "Whatever do you mean" is a question, so needs a question mark before the inverted commas. Capital letters for Call Me Graham. Nearly pulling a button off his cardigan, and full stop for the end of the sentence. But we also need a comma to separate the ing clause from the rest of the sentence. And here we do need the comma to be here after Call Me Graham, because you couldn't nearly squeal something, so the adverb nearly must refer to pulling. So "whatever do you mean?" squealed Call Me Graham, nearly pulling a button off his cardigan. Now we have a line of text which is all speech. Where is that snivelling runt of a pathetic excuse for a boy? Now, as this whole line is speech, we can put inverted commas around everything. And it's a question, so we need a question mark, but it's also an exclamation as well, so you could have a question mark or an exclamation mark, or you could have both. It's very rare to see both, and often when both are used it's wrong, but here I think it's both a question and an exclamation, so I think using both is appropriate. Usually, though, only one piece of punctuation before inverted commas. The office door blasted open with a furious roar, making Call Me Graham scream like a kitten on a ghost train. So here we've already got Call Me Graham in capitals. We don't have any speech at all in this sentence. In this sentence, nothing's being said by anyone, so we don't need inverted commas. We do need to start sentences with a capital letter, finish them with a full stop, and there's a comma in here as well. So the office door blasted open with a furious roar, and then the next part of the sentence is the extra information in an ing clause. So let's put a comma there, because this part of the sentence gives you more information. Making Call Me Graham scream like a kitten on a ghost train.